No certificate in the world can rewrite the voice in your head that says, I am not ready. I don't feel capable. Well, but if I mess up, I am no good. Because here's the truth. Every interpreter out there, every translator eventually will face that moment of knowing if I got this, or that inner chatter that is speaking to them. Because I've been there too. I've had many a times where even though my my paper, my badge, everything's saying that I'm qualified, I'm capable. My inner chatter of myself is like, I do not know what I'm doing here. Like, get me out of here. So I get it. Hi, I am Nene, and I am a speaker trainer coach. And I help interpreters, translators, professionals, and shy but capable individual navigate those internal challenges that is holding them back so they can confidently step into the role. So many of us, peers, colleagues, have such similar stories. I had a client who, on paper, she was an A-star student. She was like the top in her class. When it now came time to face the boot, to go in there, that red light went in, she froze every time because that inner game wasn't well trained. She was locked in with the skill set, with the knowing. But when it came time to to do the work, she wasn't locked in. She went to one of the best university and was trained and her competency was on par. But her confidence, that's not. That was in the curriculum, so that she didn't. And the thing is, this invincible curriculum of how we handle those fear, the hesitation, the procrastination, the fear of failure, fear of success, the overwhelm, the self-loathing, the stress, the imposter syndrome, the fear of rejection, all those things is in that invisible curriculum that is not necessarily taught in our universities and training centers that we have to embody and get those things down because the stress of that isn't about lack of skill. It has nothing to do with the skill. It's about the inner voice not matching to that external evidence. Reason being, the skill is secondary, but the identity, the mindset stuff, that's the primary, that's the key. Because with the skills, you have those and you've got technologies down, you've got how to show up down, you've got like teachability, great, everything locked in. But when you look at the identity side of things, those subconscious chatter that's going on, those internal woes, those lived experience, the things that we bring into the plate. If we're like shy and not having that value for self, we don't see ourselves in that light as someone who does things like this. If we're not feeling that capability, if we don't have all those things, so without that identity locked in, the skills cannot shine. Those things cannot be put front to say, okay, this is where we are, this is what we're doing. Because let's talk about the real exam here. Depending on how the structure is, series of things to lead up to that final exam or a collection of stuff to make up that thing. Once that thing is done, that's done. It's once, it's a moment. But that internal exam, that is the conduit for every booking, every assignment you go to, every time you step into that booth, every time you're ready to do a translation, it comes in locked in. It's there checking you to see how capable you are, to see what you've got in a plate, to see what you're made of. And remembering that our brain wants to keep us safe, it's going to want to do the least most. So if all those chatter, all those things I call the toxic 10 I mentioned earlier, if those things are still in play, the nervous system will tighten up and the confidence will lapse. And that's what's happening. That's what's showing up. And I call this the success encoding loop. It's the loop of what we're thinking becomes how we feel, and how we feel, we start doing the things, and those doing will become the results we have, even though the skill's locked in. If we're thinking we're not capable, if we're thinking that we're not made for this, or people like us do not do things like this, or what, like, I'm not sure if I mess up. If that thinking is running the show, you will start feeling, how are you going to start showing? You start feeling like someone that's not capable, you start slouching back. You start like thinking that you're not inadequate, you're whatever, and you start showing it. You start hesitating your voice. You start second guessing yourself. You start whispering. Like all those things will start showing. And then what will be the result? Clients don't book you back. They just call you out like you're not that. You're this. Even though the skill is saying you are capable, you have it locked in, everything is there. But if that inner side isn't top notch, isn't, if that loop of doubt is in circulation, of hesitation, of overwhelm, of procrastination, of whatever it is on play, regardless of what the skills we have and what we know that is true for us that we've done, this is going to be running the show. That's going to be running the thing. And this is where we need to understand that confidence isn't the certificate, isn't that the end point of now go, you have the license to train, to go, I mean, to do your work. Now go and with practice, you get better. Yes. And confidence doesn't come that way. The confidence is the identity, is the choosing every single day to align with that inner story so they can match the outer skill. Because if that inner story and what we're thinking about ourselves, how we see ourselves, the limitations we put on ourselves, the old stories, the fear, the uncertainty, if those things are not locked in and encoded, like I like to put it, it'll be running the show. Regardless of, yes, we've gotten the degree, we've gotten the certification, we've now done this vocation, now we're ready to go out in the field, but this is running the show. This is the missing piece that makes those technical training stick. This is the thing that is holding people back from really showcasing themselves. This is like the cherry. And this is what I really want us to ask ourselves here. I really want us to be intentional in asking, where do I feel the gap? Where is what? Because my skill is strong, or I'm building on my skill. Where is the gap? Is it my self-belief is shaky? Is it how I see myself is still? Is it like what I'm telling myself, like people like me don't do this, or like what's going on, or like I don't know the unknown? Take the time to figure out what that gap is. Where and then where most do you hear the voice? What's that voice saying? What is going on internally in your head? You're not ready? You're not capable? I don't see how I'm going to do this. What's that? And I then want you to then imagine a situation where you don't just qualify, but you actually encode yourself with confidence alongside your training, alongside the things you're doing, so that when what would then change? What would that then change for you? Your career pathway, your retention, and the impact because you're working simultaneously on the inner game and your external skill. And you become that force that people want back, that people choose, people want in their spaces to represent them, love your flow, love your style, because those internal and outer are in alignment. And it's all about the identity mastering of really getting ourselves in tuned and walked in to really impact the skills that we know we have, that people see the potential in us that we sometimes don't see in ourselves. So what I really want us to do is like just drop in the comment section, what is that one story or situation where, yes, the certificates, I've got this with me, I have it, but that inner voice is saying no. And what would you shift if you could rewrite that story? Drop in the comment section. Let's rewrite this, rework this to start making sure that we are working on that inner game, getting that new script down, getting that new internal loop into the loop of I've got this, into the loop of I know what I'm doing, into the loop of I'm the right person for this. I have everything that is required for me to put this out, to do the work. And I really want us to remember that the awareness of this and the repetition, putting the rep, putting the work to make sure that those loops are filled to the ones we want to create will then create the identity we desire. Because your voice matters and it's your time to use it. Bye for now.